Hello, Guardians. Today is September 30th, 2022. My name's Dan Finity, and welcome to Destiny Digest. Today we have an interview with Lavender of the Destiny 2 Tarot Project after the news. I also have a special giveaway at the end of the episode for one keen listener to receive a SCIENTIA ILLUMINATA emblem courtesy of Bungie. Bungie will be releasing a new hotfix 6.2.0.7 on October 4th at 9 a.m. Pacific. To alleviate some of the pressure in acquiring Season of Plunder weapon patterns, the double perk weapon Spoils Crew upgrade will now give you a Deepsight modded weapon the first time you focus a weapon each week. The Deepsight modded weapon from the Hidden Compartment Crew upgrade will now appropriately refresh at the weekly reset. Next Tuesday will also mark the return of the Grandmaster Nightfalls. Individuals who have completed their Conqueror seals in seasons past will be able to gild the title on day one thanks to the catch-up node. Players who have yet to achieve the Conqueror title will need to complete all 6 GMs over the next 6 weeks to earn the title. Next week's Adept weapon offerings are the Militia's Birthright grenade launcher and the Mindbender's Ambition shotgun. In wider gaming news, Google will be shutting down its streaming service Stadia on January 18th, 2023. Sounds like Google didn't let their developers know this news, with Bungie putting out a statement that they themselves weren't aware of this change before Thursday's announcement. Google has said that they will be giving full refunds to anyone who made purchases on the platform. Luckstruck9 said that the service that he runs using Stadia to trade off various checkpoints for in-game activities will continue uninterrupted until that date, and that his team are looking into other platforms to continue offering that service. Now we turn to learn more about the Destiny 2 Tarot Project with Lavender. Why don't we have you introduce yourself, what you do in the community for Destiny 2, and where people can find you on the internet?
Okay. Yeah. My name is Lavender. You can find me at lavenderarts_ on Twitter. Or Lavender Arts pretty much anywhere else. I've been playing Destiny for almost a year to the day, actually.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
So generally new to the community.
Yeah, pretty new, but I really wanted to meet more of my artist peers, so I've basically been churning out Destiny fan art for an entire year.
Amazing. So, like, what led you to Destiny 2? Like, what was the thing that in 2021 made you go, you know what? That seems like a cool place to be.
My best friend dragged me in kicking and screaming. I had briefly tried Destiny before they sunset the Red War stuff, but I didn't have a gaming computer at the time, so it kept crashing on me in the middle of the mission, and I gave up for a couple years. I know. Yeah. Now I'm so salty because I never really got to play Red War.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I started it to just have more time to spend with him, and eventually I got pulled into a clan full of really great people, and this is now the way that I spend the majority of my free time.
That's awesome. That's amazing. So, like, I'm assuming that you started art before Destiny 2. What? looking at I'm looking at your Twitter right now, and just seeing a lot of your work. You have a very good grasp of, like, the human figure. The coloring on these feel like a storybook almost, like or something that you would see from like an illustration of Wizards of the Coast a little bit in some of your colors. When did you start making art, and, like, did you get into illustration like from an early age, or?
Well, thank you. That's really sweet. Yeah, I basically been drawing for as long as I can remember, but I didn't start taking it really seriously until I went to college. And now that I'm out of college, it's actually what I do for work, which is pretty crazy in and of itself. But yeah, I've been learning. I mean, I'm turning 26 this year. I've been learning for pretty much 20 years, just watching other people do it and trying to follow along.
Yeah, and it's like it is very impressive, the work that you've done.
Thank you.
I guess the next question is, Why a tarot deck?
Well, I've done a couple of these before for different pieces of media that I enjoy. Tarot is just, I mean, I'm not like super into the spiritual aspect of it. Like, I don't really read tarot myself, but as far as a visual language, it's just really, really interesting to me. And a lot of what I try to put a lot of effort into in my work is just getting an emotion across. And I think the kind of symbology of tarot can be a really good shorthand for that.
Yeah, I get that completely. One of my next questions was like, so you had, when you guys had set this project up, it seems like you guys had already chosen figures to be on different cards. Mm-hmm. Was there any, did you talk with anybody about like the meanings behind the characters on the card specifically? Because I know in tarot, it like, that is kind of a big portion of the tarot. But how did you decide what characters would go on what card?
Honestly, that's my second favorite part after like reviewing applications is deciding who goes where. But my two co-moderators, my best friend Jesse, who got me into playing Destiny, and our friend Lee, I spoke with both of them because they've been playing Destiny for much longer than I have, so they have more context on some of the characters that I either never met or only have met in more recent seasons.
Briefly.
Yeah. And so, like, I had more of the information about the meaning of each tarot card, and they had the character knowledge. So we all just kind of sat down, and I had some solid ideas. Like, for example, one of my cards was the Fool with Crow, and that was really the first idea that set me off on wanting to do this. So I put down what I could, and then I got their input for things that I couldn't really choose or wasn't super clear. So it was definitely a collaborative effort.
That's amazing. So how many artists did you work with over the span of this entire project? Looking at the community project guidelines, like it looks like you guys have been spending months and months preparing this, getting ready to head out. Was it 78 different artists for each of the, like one for each card? Or did some of them double up?
Yeah, some people doubled up. We couldn't quite get 78 people, which honestly is a relief because that is a lot of cats to herd.
That is a lot of cats to herd. I wouldn't envy you.
Yeah, I have done ones before where it was 78 people, and it's just a lot. I think we ended up having about 60 exactly, so I doubled up. A few other people did just to make sure that we could get the whole thing out, which was really great.
So through all this, you said that you've done a couple of the tarot projects before for other communities. What other IP, I guess, is the correct word, have you done?
Let's see. I think my very first one was for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It was like 5 years ago.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. That's really what got me into managing these kinds of projects. I've done probably like one a year since. And last year I did one for Vocaloid, if you have any idea what that is.
Kind of? Not really.
Explain? Japanese computer program that sings, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like Hakunimitsu?
Yeah, Hatsune Miku.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Never mind. Yeah, I knew I got it wrong somewhere.
You had all the right syllables. It's fine.
Well, that's okay. Well, that's really rad. So, I guess, like, did it deepen your connection to Destiny through this entire project? Did it make you want to learn more about, like, maybe some of the lore and some of the characters?
Yeah, I really think it did. I mean, I think one of the most profound changes as a result of this was that I came into Destiny during Season of the Lost, and like right away my favorite character was Crow. So I was very suspicious of Mara as a character, and I really didn't like her.
As you should be.
Right.
As you should be.
But the combination of Witch Queen coming out and hanging out with other people in the community who had a different viewpoint on her because they had played Destiny 1 and they had been around for Destiny 2, they actually understood what the Mara Senna was talking about. That really changed my mind, and like now she's super interesting and cool to me, whereas I was just kind of like, please go away every time she was around before.
Right.
Yeah, but I have been like scouring Ishtar Collective over the course of this, just like reading random lore and stuff. It has definitely gotten me more interested in it.
That is an amazing site. Like, shout out to Baxter and all of them for maintaining it, because it's huge. And like in the game, I feel like it's a little bit more reflective now. Around Red War, the lore of Destiny felt like more grimdark than necessarily some of the like Cade of it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was kind of like the Mickey Mouse of Destiny. So we're getting to a point now where the game's in story lore and everything is getting a little bit more along the lines of the lore, and I'm very stoked on it. Do you have like a specific piece of lore that you've enjoyed finding so far?
I couldn't like name one, but I really have enjoyed learning more about characters like Keitel and Savathun and some of the other antagonists that we've come up against like recently. It's been really interesting to get a different perspective on them. And even characters like Mizrax, you know, who's having a lot of story stuff come up in this season in particular. Like, to me, he's just some random guy, but, you know, I didn't even really get to play Season of the Splicer, but he's got a lot of depth, and it's just really, really great to be able to find those lore bits and just understand more about what's going on in the game.
If people wanted to find this project and download it on their own, I know it's not like together as like a bundleable product, because I'm sure there's some IP issues there.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. But where can people get the tarot deck?
Well, if you want to download it, it is all available in a Google Drive folder, and you just go to Destiny 2 Tarot on Twitter, and our pinned tweet has a link to that folder where you can download all the cards. You can print them out yourself if you want to. There's a PDF that has all the artist credits and stuff, so it's all right there.
That's fantastic. Well, it's been a pleasure having you.
Thanks for having me.
Do you have anybody that you want to shout out?
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, everybody did such a great job. I highly encourage people to please check out all the artists that worked on it, but especially my co-moderator Lee at New Babyfly on Twitter. I mean, Lee put together the PDF and designed the card border and was just so helpful in a lot of the technical aspects of things, and they have been a huge support for me while we were all doing this, so shout out to them for sure.
Thanks so much to Lavender for giving of their time, and also go check out the Destiny 2 Tarot project. There's a lot of wonderful art through there. On a final note, this week marked the final episode of the Planet Destiny podcast. For those of you who know, I worked as a producer, editor, and host for the show for around 4 years. It was fun to hang out every week with TBL and Nim. Sometimes Aura and Moon would hop in and talk about this game that we all love. I learned a lot about production and community building by being a part of that team, and I'm grateful for every minute of it. PD leaving seems like an epoch of the community passing, much like how I felt when Guardian and Crucible Radios both closed their doors. The community is better for having these types of institutions to help point it in the right direction when it comes to feedback and understanding, and that's something I aspire to make here with all of you. I'll continue to make this show in as high a quality as I can, and thank you all for your support to this point. I think we hit over 1,000 listens this past week, which just blows my mind. With all that said, my name is Danfinity. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, where the eyes are else. You can catch me 3 days a week on Twitch at twitch.tv/Danfinity, helping Guardians through Pinnacle and endgame PvE activities. GM's coming next week. If you'd like to support the show, remember to rate and review on your podcast platform of choice. It's free and fun. This show is also listener supported, so if you'd like to give a few bucks a month to keep the lights on, head on over to coffee.com/Danfinity. All links are in the notes for the episode. Thank you so much for listening. NV7 4TM 49, and I hope you find what you're grinding for.